Alright then guys, how's it going? JTJudgment here and welcome back to another legend review in FIFA 15 Ultimate Team, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the lower rated options for the centre backs when it comes to the legends. We have the 86 rated Frank de Boer. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, there is a reason why I'm doing this review late, and that's because last year he was absolutely terrible for me and I wasn't really, expecting anything special. I mean, when people think of de Boer in Ultimate Team, you're not expecting much, because you look at his stats, and for a legend centre-back, I think everybody will agree with me when I say this, he looks extremely average. He's got 66 pitch, which in itself is not ideal for a centre-back in Ultimate Team. If you want to use centre-back, well, not if you want to use centre-backs, everybody has to use centre-backs, but you know what I mean. You need more pace than that, You need pace in your centre-backs to counter the amount of pacey attackers that you come up against pretty much every single game that you play in FIFA Ultimate Team. He does have 89 defending though, guys. That's probably the only thing that is awesome about him. Also his work rate. He does have high defensive work rate. But other than that, looking at his card and his in-game stats, he looks extremely average. In-game stats, 94 interceptions, not bad. 90 reactions, 83 aggression, 91 stand tackle, 86 marking, 88 sliding tackle. So when it comes to defensive stats, guys, I will say he is half decent, but it doesn't, cancel out the fact that just in general, he looks very, very average for a centre-back, especially a legend, guys. Now, going into the weaknesses that I did find with this card, I like going through the weaknesses first. In all of my reviews, it's something that I've tended to start doing recently. Well, not recently, I've done it for a while, guys. I just like to get the weaknesses out of the way. What I found is that his aerial ability for me wasn't the greatest. His jumping wasn't the greatest, and his heading accuracy, it just wasn't there. Didn't score any headers from corners or anything like that. Didn't attempt to win the ball in the air. His aerial ability, full stop, for me was just terrible. His weak foot for me was really, really bad as well. I do believe he has got 2-star weak foot. Correct me if I am wrong, but I am 90% sure that I am right there, guys. And his passing just absolutely dreadful. Don't even get me started with shooting with his weak foot, because in this team, I've said it in the Beckenbauer review and I've said it in the Bobby Moore review. I used de Boer in a team where I took a lot of long shots with my centre backs, and I scored a lot of them, as you will see in this video. That's one of the major pluses that I found with de Boer. His shooting was very consistent for me, but when it comes to his weak foot, guys, everything you can think of, it was just bad, just full stop, just very, very bad. And the biggest weakness is obviously his pace. He's got 66 pace, which in my opinion is nowhere near enough, especially if you're using a 3 at the back formation. You need to have pace in your defense to counter the amount of pacey attackers you come up against, like I've already mentioned. And unless you get lucky and your opponent doesn't run round de Boer for some reason, then you're going to have a hard time stopping them, because when you come up against de Boer, all you need to do is just sprint round him and you're not going to have a chance in hell in catching up with him. But his positioning does help with that quite a bit though, guys. His positioning for me was half decent. One of the biggest pluses that I did find with him, he's got high defensive work rate, medium attacking, but he felt like he had a high-low work rate. He hardly ever attacked for me, so that's something that I do like to see in my centre-backs. His tackling abilities in general for me were pretty fantastic. Standing tackle were half decent. He's not the strongest of centre-backs, but he did manage to come away with most of the tackles that I did go in for, so that was nice to see. And sliding tackles were very, very reliable for me as well. I did slightly feel that 89 defending stat, guys, in game, which is definitely a big thumbs up and was very, very nice to see. His passing for me was pretty decent. Didn't have any problems really there, guys. His strength was half decent, like I've already mentioned. Dribbling and ball control, didn't really have much of a problem with either. Usually when I use centre-backs, I lose the ball to heavy touches and stuff like that on a regular basis, but it didn't really happen with me, de Boer, as many times as it has with other centre-backs that I've used in the past, so that was another nice aspect of this card that, it made me enjoy using that little bit more. But the biggest surprise, guys, and you would have seen them in the clips, his shooting is absolutely bloody bonkers. He scores from the halfway line very, very easily. He scored me loads of long shots, and I just did not expect it, you know. I was getting him in the position to take shots all the time, especially in situations where I was taking a corner and they would head it out to the defence, and then I would just press B, it would curve into the top corner of the net, my jaw would hit the floor, and I would just want to use this guy more and more. And if it wasn't for his shooting, guys, I probably wouldn't really say that he's worth it, you know. But add shooting to everything else that I did find half decent with this card, I gotta say he's worth it, guys. I mean, when I bought him, I think he was a little over 150,000 coins, if I do remember correctly. By the time you're seeing this, no doubt his price has probably dropped quite a bit. I've got to say he is definitely worth it for around 100,000 or less than 100,000, however much he goes for when you're watching this. He is absolutely fantastic for that price, guys. He brings a lot to the game for that price. Granted, his pace isn't the greatest, but if you know what you're doing with defending, then I think he'll be half decent for you guys. That's going to wrap up my final thoughts on the legend Frank de Boer. Please leave a like if this did help you decide whether or not to buy him yourself. Subscribe for more legend reviews to come from me very, very soon. And as always from me, guys, please take care, and I will see you all next time. Ta-ra, guys.